Number 4, Lacey Mott. Number 8, Haley Smith. Number 10, Mason Morgan. Number 14, Zoe Sparks. Number 18, Therese Chavez. And number 11, Jada Parmenter. Southwestern Oklahoma State is coached by Josh Collins, and he is assisted by Kate Dillon, Carmen Kitzie, and Allie Huang. And now, let's meet the starters for your 2023 Fort Lewis College Skyhawks! A freshman from Flower Mound, Texas, number 4, Jordan DeJesus. A junior from Colorado Springs, Colorado, number 8, Natalia Lambo. A freshman from Fort Collins, Colorado, number 9, Jordan Romano. A senior from Farmington, New Mexico, number 11, JJ Curry. A freshman from Tucson, Arizona, number 13, Alina Nunez. A freshman from Phoenix, Arizona, number 14, Logan Sprague. And a junior from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, number 15, Sarah Olowski. Fort Lewis is coached by Ian Turner. She is assisted by Natalia Bergulin and Dima Power. Officials for today's match are Nancy McCoy and Jeff Blossom.
Welcome back to Wayland Gymnasium live action here. The final game of the Skyhawk Invitational for the host team from Fort Lewis. They'll face Southwestern Oklahoma State University. In our middle match of 5 here today, we just saw a great 5-setter. East Central Oklahoma pushed Angelo State all the way to 5 sets, gave the high-flying Bells everything they could deal with before Angelo State held on to win it. The Skyhawks' only loss this weekend has come to that Angelo State team. They beat East Central last night in 4 sets. The Southwest Oklahoma State team still looking for their first win at the tournament, like East Central. But Rick O'Block, I think we saw East Central in the kind of attitude they brought to the floor this morning, and both of us a little nervous that Southwest Oklahoma State comes to the floor with the same drive and energy and determination as we just saw the East Central girls.
Yeah, no question about that. I mean, it's like they got a little confidence and took Angelo State to 5 sets, and Southwest Oklahoma State University was playing with a lot of momentum last night, and we'll see how they do today. But Fort Lewis has got to be on their A game in order to win this match against a very, very talented team here at Southwest Oklahoma State. And Lacey Mott leads them as far as their talent. She is a 5'6",
something else,
outside hitter from Waxahachie, Texas. Waxahachie?
The Waxahachie firecracker, I think they ought to call her, because that is what, boy, she is just explosive, isn't she?
She is something.
And, yeah, you talk about this team took the other 5-set match we've had in this tournament was the Bulldogs last night against Texas A&M International, a team that, oh, by the way, is 7-1. Their only loss coming the first game of this tournament to Fort Lewis College. So here we go, underway. Nunez handles back row. They set it up to Curry. Curry has been just an absolute stud. That time into the block and denied. Sprague can't dig it out of the net.
Well, they got Haley Smith at 6'2", and Zoe Sparks at 6'2", and that's going to be a big front line for them to try and get over for this match.
Really, we saw them greatly affect the hitters from Texas A&M International last night. We see just a stout block from their big players here. Lambo's going to set it up middle for Sprague. Nice job on the back row by Chavez to have the answer. Another free ball coming across. Wilkie, Lambos. This time she goes back set to Jordan DeJesus, who is in the starting lineup for the first time this week. And that smash from Smith is wide down the near sideline. We're evened up at 1, side out to the Skyhawks. Jordan Romano back on for Sarah Wilkie. Emma Sprague back to serve. Logan Sprague. There, I did get it wrong. Logan Sprague back to serve for the Skyhawks.
Romano comes in. She's 6 foot from Fort Collins, Colorado. That's just a misplay right there.
Yeah. The set, I think the set was actually pretty good, but I don't think Sparks expected it to be that far into the net. She was flat-footed and played it too far back. Skyhawks with a lead. Sprague, the freshman from Phoenix, Arizona, into the net with that one. Tied at 2.
Can't give them free points.
No, but
that ball in play.
Really fun to watch how teams find their rhythm.
Yes.
You know, these two teams have not played yet today, so there's a little rust that needs to get knocked off.
Little rush, but they should be rested.
Mm-hmm. I don't know about that. Skyhawks didn't get done till 11 o'clock last night, Rick. I don't feel rested. Do you feel rested?
They're 18 years old.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I knew there was a difference.
Yeah. Something about 40 years difference.
Couldn't put my finger on it. Chloe Rule, it was fun getting to know her yesterday for the first time, a back row specialist.
Nice play
Boy,
there.
that one paints the far sideline. Side out to the Bulldogs.
I
the
think
two teams feeling each other out a little bit here right now.
I think this is going to be a really tightly contested volleyball match here. Both teams are very talented. And
Romano. Oh, I thought that was in.
I thought that was in also.
I thought Romano scored that one. Gee, not going to pull out the challenge card this early in the match.
Now that line judge right there has a new haircut today.
He does. When did he have time to get that?
No kidding.
We were here 14 and a half hours yesterday. Natalia Lambos.
Nice dink there.
She is such a good setter. Lade from Texas A&M International and her, I go back and forth over which one's the better setter we've seen this weekend. The two are both just outstanding. J.J. Curry on the serve. Boy, there
we go.
Lacey Mott. And you've got to defend her. But how? I don't know if anybody has really figured that out this weekend. I think the best defense against her is to have a good offense and keep Southwestern Oklahoma from setting her up.
You look back at all of the teams we've seen, and there are just certain players that stand out, and she is definitely in my top 5 list.
You talked about yesterday how fun it would be to have an all-tournament team after something like this, and I'm actually going to suggest that in the department. If we do this again, there's Romano scores that one. She's on mine.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Hortelon from Texas A&M International is another one. But, man, after that, it gets really tough. If you were to, say, pick 8 or 10 out of these 6 teams, that would be a tough task,
it would be, but
Rick. We've seen some really good volleyball players.
Yeah, I would say Odalys Gonzalez from East Central was outstanding. For sure. But, it would be tough, but I think that would be a cool recognition for some of the top players, because there are J.J. Curry would be on my list.
Oh yeah,
sure.
J.J. Curry is. She's in the running for tournament MVP. I think there's a nice cross quarter from Nunez. Curry will serve it up again, or no, excuse me, Lambos will serve. We're tied at 6. Yeah, it would, and of course it wouldn't they couldn't just put it all on you and me, because then the players who didn't make it would know who to be mad at. There'd have to be like 5 of us who voted on it, right?
Yeah.
But I do think it would be fun to do next year.
That's a nice
cross court.
hit.
We didn't see Taryn Galt. We talked about this, you and I think off microphone yesterday a little bit. I don't know if she picks her spots or if that's just sort of the rhythm of this team that they don't look to her that much. But man, they seemed all of a sudden turn to her for a couple of points and she comes through.
Yes.
Then you won't hear from her again for a while. Nunez down the line. That one's out. Did Mott get a finger on it? Nobody's saying so. She went up to challenge it, but
Fort Lewis down 6-8. Kuzma.
We expected this. After watching the last match, I don't expect anything to go easy today. Kuzma with the service error sends it back over to Fort Lewis.
It's so hard because the way East Central played today and Angelo's, all the teams are pretty closely matched as far as talent. Look at that hit.
Well, now they've all gotten to watch each other, so there's no surprises either, right? Lambos, I don't know about that. I think she went off of De Jesus back to Lambos. That was the third hit. They're going to have to replay that one because that was
she hit
that
it,
whistle shouldn't have
came off the player and she re-hit it over the net. So that's not a double hit.
Yeah, it wasn't her net back to her. It was her other player back to her.
Correct.
They are going to replay it.
Good call by
Nice job by Natalia. Boy, you talk about reflexes.
Well, the minute it happened, they made the call. She ran over there and she's like, no. So good on the officials to get it right.
It was an instinct whistle because you don't expect a player to be that quick and be able to do it, right? Your eyes say something was wrong there, and you blow the whistle. Nice play by Natalia, and then nice job by the officials to get it right. We'll play it again. Nunez.
Oh.
Boy, and I'll tell you what, we'll take that trade. Nunez gets another serve. We'll take that trade every time. I talked to G about having enough confidence in the freshman to launch these top spin serves, and G talked about how there's a thin margin for error. It either goes really well or really bad, but she said she has seen Nunez enough that she's got that confidence in her. And see, that's another way to take Mott out of the play. You serve right at her, and then the play goes away from her. Oh, what a blast. Sprague with a big point for the Skyhawks to give them the lead 9-8. But that started, Nunez served it to Mott, which meant Mott was in no position to attack. She was playing defense.
It takes her out of the play. You're absolutely right. Interesting.
9-8 Skyhawks. Their time, she finds the libero Permenter. And free ball. Nunez has to make a big play on it. De Jesus wisely sends it deep and sends it to Mott. They're going to back set to Galt. And that's out. Looked like it was a little too deep. The line judge wasn't too sure, but always if the line judge has to get out of the way, then it's a pretty good chance that it was out. You see, she positions herself well with her feet on either side of that corner.
And she's on the line.
And if she's got to move out of the way of the ball, it means that the ball's out. The call was slow, but it was the right call. Alina Nunez.
Wow. She is on
that serve is a weapon. Wilkie, no trouble with that one. Sets up Curry for the smash. Mott unable to keep it in play.
Fort Lewis on a little bit of a run here. They were down 8-6, so they've got 5 points now.
And I don't know if this is by design, if this is something G called, but they're absolutely attacking Lacey Mott in the back row.
Well, I think you go at her, and like you said, I think very accurately is get her the ball first, and that sort of takes her out of the play and the ability to get involved later. And, she's such a great player that she doesn't make any errors on the serve.
We've talked about the great ones who stay on the floor for a full rotation, and she's obviously one of them, but they are better at one than the other.
Yes.
Usually, without any exception that I've seen this weekend. And clearly Mott's going to be a better front row player, even though she's only 5'6". She is a power player and better on the front row probably than the back row. So you attack her at her weakness. You can also plant some seeds of doubt, and maybe she's not as confident when she gets back up to the front row. So,
well, every player has a weakness, but she's one of the better all-around players that I have seen this
She might be the best all-around player at this tournament.
Could be.
But I love what we're doing right now. I don't know if it's on purpose, but I love the way it's working out right now.
I would say Curry is another all-around player. She can do it from both ends.
Discovered, if you weren't watching yesterday or last year, Curry discovered playing summer rec beach volleyball by then assistant coach Robin Dalton, a Farmington High School product, who they brought onto the Skyhawk roster
too much there
last fall after she was dealing on our coaches at Co-Ed Rec League over the summer. I think that's just a great story. 11-9, Skyhawks by 2.
Well, and even though and I've said this before, of course, after 20 hours of volleyball, you've said everything once, right?
Yes.
But I like that when she misses long. That's a big block there.
That's a really big block. But there's a couple of trees there, right? Smith and Sparks.
Both 6'2".
Yeah. And you got to appreciate that Curry didn't shy away from that block. She went ahead and attacked it anyways. That's her game. But now let's see if they try to get something going in the middle. And Curry mishits that one, and so we're tied at 11. See if they try to get something going in the middle, or maybe they've got De Jesus out there. We haven't seen them set to her and let her attack yet. They do there. The set is too far back. She still gets quite a bit on it. Permenter's got to track it down. Smith off the candy cane and out of bounds.
Yep.
De Jesus' first kill is an effective one. Even though it wasn't Lambeau's best set, De Jesus able to do something with it because of her athleticism. Romano rotates in for Wilkie. Logan Sprague back to serve.
Well, they had to hustle on that one.
And, oh!
Wow.
The stand official and the line. And again, it's so hard. The ball's moving so fast. That looked out to me, but, I mean, they both had better angles and were no doubt about the call. None of the Skyhawks arguing it. It's a nice hit by the Bulldogs. Tied at 12 now, and this is Kiana Holloway, the transfer from New Mexico State, on to serve. Curry. Lambos, the quick set to Romano. And I think it was 8 Smith. Either 8 or 18. Chavez is up there as well, but I'm pretty sure that was,
I think it was 8.
Smith in the net. Chloe Rule. So many young players we're getting to see here for the Skyhawks this weekend. Lambos to Curry again. Curry into that block. She's going to try it again. This time she gets it over him and down the sideline. Both line judges calling the tip on that. Curry with the point. Skyhawks with the 2-point lead. Chloe Rule, the defensive specialist out of Greeley, transferred back to Colorado from UC Riverside. There's a great tip by Mott, and we talk about that. Those real heavy hitters, you've got to honor that strength if you're a back row player. And so when they choose their moments for a tip, it's almost a guaranteed point as long as they execute it.
No question about it. And you have to guard against the big hit, right? Because what's going to give more momentum, even if they make the point?
Right.
The big hit.
Well, you can react to the tip. You don't have time to react to the hit.
That's right.
You got it. It's kind of like umpiring baseball, right? You think strike, see ball.
Right.
It's the same thing. I mean, you think smash, see tip.
Smith into the net again. Point Fort Lewis, 15-13.
And they're really aggressive in bringing that block, but they're over aggressive sometimes.
Yep.
The blockers are actually carrying into the net. It's not the hitters. Curry serves for the Skyhawks. Chavez sets it back to Smith, who finds the far corner. Galt set to check in along with Cameron Turner. She's the taller of the two setters for this Bulldog team. Skyhawks by a point. Southwestern Oklahoma State, as we anticipated, given as good as they get in this one.
Absolutely.
Turner. Wilkie makes the play. Lambos sets it up for Nunez, who just couldn't get enough on it. A tough angle for Alina to make the play on.
Tied up, 15-all.
And we still haven't really, I don't think we've really seen a rhythm. And I think that's why G's calling a timeout. While Southwestern Oklahoma State has played pretty well, Rick, I don't think we've seen much from the Skyhawks yet.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
We haven't made a lot of mistakes, but we are not trying to take control of this.
Right. Both teams with 4 attack errors. Fort Lewis with 7 kills. Oklahoma State with 5. Fort Lewis 7 assists. But Fort Lewis with 3 service errors. Both teams with 1 service ace apiece. And they have 2 blocks, and we have none.
Southwestern Oklahoma State University came in to this weekend with a 3-1 record, 3-3 after the 2 losses yesterday. The Skyhawks now 3-4 is where their mark stands.
Which is shocking to me.
Yeah. Well, so much depends on the level of competition at these, and this has been a high level of competition at this tournament.
Yeah.
Some of the tournaments that people played, I mean, last weekend, obviously, the Skyhawks played an even perhaps higher level of competition, or maybe the Skyhawks just, I know J.J. Curry in particular did not have a good weekend last weekend. You and I have both said she might be the tournament MVP here this weekend. So
she's certainly up there, no question.
And you talk Odalise Gonzalez of East Central Oklahoma. She struggled yesterday.
Yes.
She is a beast today. I mean, this
Yeah.
the ups and downs of this sport are incredible to me. Wilkie, who is quickly becoming one of our favorites, just has so much fun, so positive. Great little libero, the junior from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Lambos going to try Nunez again.
Nice
and
shot.
she paints the line there.
Nice shot by Nunez.
Took a little something off of it. We're seeing a lot of players do that. You know, yesterday was all about throwing big punches.
Yeah.
And we're seeing some of the big hitters work more on precision today, it seems like. A lot of it, I think, because the blockers know where to throw up the block, right? So the hitters have to adjust. There's a big smash from Mott. Sprague and Lambos were there, but Mott so much power behind that hit that even when you get a solid block, it's going to carry him off of you and go out of bounds.
It almost has to be perfect for it not to spray one way or the other.
Mott to serve now, down a point. Curry, the pass to the front row. Nunez winds. Permenter keeps it alive. Nice hustle play there to get it to the center of the floor. Turner, free ball. Lambos tips, and this time Permenter was ready for it. Back row hit from Mott. Nice block by Sprague. Mott has it stolen away by Turner there. Skyhawks should get a good one here. Nunez!
Out.
Just misses the corner.
And good job by
And Mott just missed the ball.
Not touching the ball, yeah. 17 all.
That was a tough call. No, G doesn't even blink. She's like a statue down there this match. I mean, and I think mostly because she's observing her team more than anything right now. When she's got something to say, she'll say it. That's the first time we've seen the Skyhawks crossed up on a serve, and it comes from who else? Lacey Mott. Southwestern Oklahoma State all of a sudden late in the set with a lead, Rick, after the Skyhawks had led by 2 or 3 for most of this thing. The Bulldogs just keep hanging around. We saw them do this to Texas A&M International last night. They are dangerous. Sprague. Turner played that perfectly. Front row, out of bounds with that hit. Macy Morgan, the 5'10 senior from Edmond, Oklahoma. DeJesus rotates back in for Rule.
Sarah Wilkie is quickly becoming one of my favorite enthusiastic players.
Galt with a tip there. Skyhawks able to get it.
Oh, no.
They say a carry.
Yeah.
That whoever, I don't know if it's DeJesus who went to the pine to get that, but they say she lifted it instead of hit it into the air, if it was Jordan. Just Kuzma serving now for Southwestern Oklahoma State. The Bulldogs with a 1-point lead. There's the big hit from DeJesus, the big block from the Bulldogs. Another big hit there. Wilkie sends it into the rafters. DeJesus and Curry hustle over to help and neatly avoid the collision, although they're unable to make a play on the ball. And now the Bulldogs 5 points away from a first set victory, lead the Skyhawks by 2 here, 20-18.
Yeah, the Skyhawks need to convert on this play right here to get a point.
No timeout from G. She called that timeout at 15-15. And I don't think she's liked what she's seen out of it yet. Quick set to Sprague, and Logan makes quick work of that one.
Logan playing well this set.
And look who we've got at the service stripe. Nobody better when you're down a point late in a set than Alina Nunez.
We'll see if she goes to Mott.
Boy, they're playing her awful shallow, actually.
Yep.
And I think she saw that.
That's tough.
And did go after Mott, tried to attack her high and attacked her too deep. So now a 2-point bulge, 4 points to go for a first set victory for the Bulldogs. Therese Chavez, the 5'7 junior setter out of Helotes, Texas. Finds Curry.
Oh
boy, that was a little miscommunication. and they take advantage of it. Sparks drops that behind the Skyhawk defense, and Fort Lewis suddenly down 3 points to go to 25, and G wants to talk it over now. Thoughts, Rick?
Yeah, I mean, they got to know what play they're going to call, and it looked like they were trying to set it up for a center hit, but they weren't aware of it or something.
The setter gets to call that.
Yeah.
As they set, they're supposed to call that. Whether DeJesus playing off of Natalia too far didn't hear what the call was. Natalia does a nice job of deceiving the defense. We talked about it with her tips yesterday, right? She does the back set so well, and then she was tipping off that back set. So easy to understand where DeJesus might have misread that play or might not have been able to hear Natalia. The other thing is Jordan just got in last night in the last set, Rick. We hadn't seen her until then. She played well, and G, as she's prone to do, rewarded her with the start today. But again, there isn't the chemistry between Lambos and DeJesus that there is between Lambos and her other hitters. Right. They just haven't played together as much.
Well, and like we've discussed, that's why you play these tournaments pre-conference season, I should say.
Let's see if they learn from it. Curry with a nice pass in the middle to Sprague, and they were ready for it. Sparks and Morgan were right there on the doorstep to greet Logan. G does not look happy with how they played that.
Not look happy.
23-19, the Bulldogs with a big lead now, trying to get this thing to set point. Curry winds and fires. Wilkie with a great save. DeJesus makes a nice play. Sprague challenges at the net. Boy, I thought Sprague might have been over the net. They're saying that one of the Bulldog players is over the net. And I didn't see which one it was. Sprague aggressive on the play and forced the error from the Bulldogs. Sprague now serves down 3. Mott gets it to the front row. Sparks, a big hit. Nunez able to play it, but not well. Sparks is so much better than she was yesterday, Rick.
Yes.
I mean, she was scary looking when she hit the floor. Zoe Sparks, a 6'2 junior out of Canyon, Texas, snuck away from West Texas A&M. But she didn't really have this much punch yesterday. She has been ferocious today. Skyhawks trying to fight off a set point. DeJesus with a smash there.
That's her best hit there.
Chavez to Mott. Mott.
There you go.
Absolutely. What a beautiful, beautiful kill by Mott between Wilkie and Nunez. Skyhawks are going to have to regroup after dropping set number 1 to the Southwestern Oklahoma State Bulldogs. We'll be back with set 2 in a couple of minutes. About ready to get back to action in Wayland Gymnasium. Bob Bonner, Rico Block with you on the Skyhawks Sports Network at the Skyhawks Invitational. This is Fort Lewis's only game today, and they got a little bit of a wake-up call from the Southwestern Oklahoma State Bulldogs. Skyhawks down a set in this one. G going to stick with that freshman-heavy lineup that she trotted out. This is the lineup for freshmen.
Yep.
This is the lineup on the floor at the end of that East Carolina match last night. G's going to trot the freshman out again, even with that set, and that's part of it. You know, when do you switch back? When do you got to let your players work through some things, but you also have to let your players know, hey, we're going to sit you down and let you think about it, put someone else out there. So tough in this game to make those decisions. There's a switch. Wilkie is not going to be the libero. Chloe Rule will play libero for the Skyhawks.
There you go.
Wilkie, I knew there was going to be some kind of lineup change, right? We can also see it in rotation. We might see some other players come in that we didn't see in that first set.
I'm sure we'll see some different matchups.
Well, because you'll see Wilkie rotate in back row for some of these players as well. Maybe some of the players who played front and back row won't play both here. Be interested to see what happens. There's a big smash from Smith. Lambos makes a nice play. Good job by Rule to get it back in play, where Nunez can do something with it. Sparks up big for the hit, and she misfires there. She missed wide right by a bunch.
Yeah, boy.
She didn't miss anything in the first set. Zoe Sparks actually took us behind the woodshed in set number one. Lambos on the side out, serving with the 1-point lead. Morgan smashes it through the block. We haven't seen much of Macy Morgan at all. She is out there instead of Maddie Clark, who played most of yesterday. And Morgan with a big play there. She had a couple of big plays in that first set. Therese Chavez also getting more minutes than she did at the start of the day yesterday. Here's Sprague. Logan goes cross court. Chavez no problem handling that. They go back up front to Mott. Mott makes Nunez go to the floor for the dig. Now Curry with a smash. Mott able to dig that one out. They're going to back set this to Smith. Goes cross court. Lambos plays that in the back corner. Now to Jesus winds and fires.
Cross
misses wide.
Outside.
Boy, DeJesus is an all or noneer.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think that's part of the age thing, freshman.
Well, and just if you're going to be a smaller outside hitter, you've got to sell out. We see Mott do it as well. And DeJesus still finding her way out there. Oh, they play on here. Now, I wonder if G can challenge that.
Yeah, she was thinking about it, but elected not to. Fort Lewis.
Well, everybody kind of stopped there, including some of the Southwestern Oklahoma State players thought the play was over. But we play on, and the Bulldogs now with a 3-1 lead.
You know, it's
Rule
just
can't
tough
get to that
go
one
against Zoe Sparks, and especially when it's Smith and Sparks. That's like a tower.
6'2", 6'2".
Twin towers out there.
And then Mott drifts in from behind him to smash the ball. While you're paying attention to the bigs, Mott comes in and hurts you deep. Lambos into the middle to Sprague, and Chavez not ready for that one. That was a nice job by Logan to get up, get a good look at the floor in front of her, and pick her spot. Nice middle hit by Logan Sprague. J.J. Curry serving now, down by 2. J.J. slowed down a little bit today. Don't know if she's just exhausted from all the energy she expended yesterday or if the Bulldogs are throwing something at her that she's not used to. Skyhawks missed down the line again. And that's taken something off. That was another one that's not a big hit. I'm ready to see the Skyhawks go ahead and just start smoking it again. I think these big blockers for the Bulldogs have got us off our feed just a little bit. There's Sprague, takes a full whack at it. Mott goes cross court. Oh, what a hit. Rule unable to get up and make the play.
Right now, the Fort Lewis Skyhawks are getting dominated.
Yeah, they've taken a couple of punches and they got their bell rung right now, Rick. and it looks like they're just trying to cover up and survive it. I mean, there's another tip by Nunez. We haven't seen a lot of tips out of her at all. There's a big block. Maybe that'll get them going.
Yeah, that was a big
Sprague
block.
and Curry or Sprague and DeJesus up big over there. But again, do you see how hard Permenter worked to go get that and try and keep it in play? The Bulldogs have better energy right now than we do. That's the big difference. Good play by the Skyhawks. Let's see if that can get something going. Logan Sprague, the freshman from Phoenix, back to serve it up. Back row. Holloway comes up with the pass, but a miss hit. What?
Oh, they're saying a tip?
Now a late tip call. And I don't know that G is caught up. I don't know that anybody is told. I don't know that they've officially called that tip yet.
Well, I saw the stair official call it. The head official call it.
Huh. All right.
Well, there you go.
Skyhawks are either way. The Skyhawks have got to find a way to pick the energy level up here. Bang, bang calls tend to go against you when you're down 2, right? Cameron Turner to serve. Rule. Back row. DeJesus. And the tip is going to go wide. Side out to the Skyhawks.
Well, they needed that point. J.J. Curry's going to be serving here. Oh, no. Yeah.
Wilkie is going to rotate in and play back row for DeJesus in rotation. Make sure that the official knows who she's checking in for. Yeah. Wilkie, a libero can go in and out without checking in with the official for anybody on the floor. Everybody else has to check in.
Nice block.
Oh, that's a great block on Galt. Kuzma. Boy, the hustle is still there for Southwestern Oklahoma State, though. Skyhawks starting to challenge a little more here, but it's going to take more than a couple of points. The Bulldogs are here to play today.
Yeah.
We saw that from East Central earlier, too.
Romano with the block. Right down the line from the serve.
Good pickup. I hadn't even seen Jordan rotate in. I said she's been kind of quiet today. Nunez with a nice hit from a tough position. And there she gets up. That one never got over the net.
All right, Fort Lewis fighting back, down 6-7.
And down a set.
And they were, down a set. Good point.
Wilkie to serve. Sarah on as a defensive specialist in this game after having a lock on the libero position all weekend. Wow.
Boy, that was in the corner.
How good is Lacey Mott?
Man.
Dude, she is.
She is.
Something else.
I'll tell you because she is. That's a great
the
line.
pride of Waxahachie.
Wow.
Skyhawks trail it by 2. Mott serves. Wilkie has a little trouble with that one. Lambo's got to track it down. Sprague, a nice job putting that smash on the back row. Look at Mott keeping the Bulldogs in the play. The roll play to Romano. And someone in the net there. It's Kuzma.
Wow.
Who gets caught tickling the twine.
They need to get the key to Waxahachie to Lacey Mott.
Yeah, no kidding.
She's amazing.
I'd declare her mayor right now.
Yeah. She probably doesn't want that job.
No, I wouldn't. I don't know. Waxahachie might be a nice place.
My,
Who knows what they pay mayors in Texas? Alenia Nunez.
Oh,
man. That topspin serve might have been her best of the day, and Mott was able to return it. Rick. Galt down the sideline. Rule can't direct that in the appropriate direction.
Wow.
Kuzma will serve. Now the Bulldogs back up by 2. They won the first set 25-20. Southwestern Oklahoma State looking for their first win of the weekend. Came in 3-1, lost 2 last night. Skyhawks looking to go 4-4 on the year with a win here. And the Bulldogs would go to 4-3 with a victory. Bounce blocked back. Curry gets it back into play out of the back row. Nunez sends it deep. That's about all she can do. Morgan with a smash. Nunez, no trouble with that. Hit a little too deep. Lambos had to tip it. Another smash from Morgan.
Oh,
Nunez
perfect.
ready. Good pass that time. Curry's going to get a full swing, but Mott is all over the back row right now. She has done a really nice job there.
Great rally.
A great rally, and it's Mott defensively who led the team there. We talked about your great front and back players are better at one than the other, and I said, oh, Mott, I'm sure, is better in front. She looks really good in the back row this game.
I think she's a better front player, but she is as good as anybody here all around.
I mean, they don't have a libero on the floor right now, I think because Mott can play it in the back row for them while she's out there. Galt into the block and out. Skyhawks down by 4, 11-7. G going to continue to ride this group out on there. Romano handles the serve. They set it over to Curry. And, boy, people are loading up on Curry.
Yep.
It's Galt and Sparks both over there.
They have scouted her well.
And you're seeing frustration on JJ's face.
Yeah.
That's the first time. And I think this is what happened to her last weekend. You see her go straight to the end of the bench for a water bottle and a towel there. The Bulldogs, as you said, scouted us well. And that's the thing about this. That's why the tables turn on day 2 of tournaments like this, because everybody got to see what everybody else could do. And the teams who didn't do things well yesterday, like Southwestern Oklahoma State and East Central, didn't show teams what they do well.
Right.
Whereas the teams who played well, like the Skyhawks and Angelo State, showed you their strengths, and these other teams were able to prep for them and did a good job prepping for them.
Well, and kudos to those teams. I think one of the things that has to happen is other players have to step up in the absence of somebody who's being shut down, like Curry, who is a great player. But
absolutely go-to the last 2 days.
Yeah, they're going to take her out of it. Who else is it going to be?
Right.
Is it going to be Nunez, or is it going to be Romano, or is it going to be Sprague? Who is going to be the person to step up? Because they've taken J.J. Curry out of it, at least for right now.
Or do you come back with Shea or Hobie?
Yeah,
I see Ella Butler's dressed today. We haven't seen her all weekend because she's been sick. Her and Shea Swenson both on the bench with face masks. So I don't know if Shea's a little under the weather. Shea was the hero Thursday night. Came in off the bench and absolutely sparkled in that 3-set win over Texas A&M International. As you see Romano rotate off here. Rule will serve for the Skyhawks down 4. Turner in the middle. Sparks absolutely punishes that, and Fort Lewis didn't get a block up in the middle.
No.
I mean, you cannot not challenge Sparks.
Right.
She has got so much rhythm right now. I mean,
she's a strong player.
Size, strength, and rhythm is a hard combination to beat, and we feed Curry again.
Smith and Sparks.
Smith and Sparks are just too much for her on that pin. And here we go. We're going to see Alexis Hobie. And I'm excited about this. Alexis has been sitting on the bench since Thursday night, chomping at the bit. Actually, she got a start yesterday, but only played about half a set or one set. And now Alexis. Oh, there's a great tip from Lambos to get things started, because you saw that. Southwestern Oklahoma State had tilted the floor. They thought we were going to go to Hobie, and they were going to load up and defend that, and instead Nat just dropped it over the net on him.
Lauren Shea checks in.
Yep, there we go.
Yeah.
Shea and Hobie, these were the starters last year.
Well, you had to sort of make something up because it just wouldn't go in your direction.
I love this. Let's see what they do now. So there's the answer to Sparks. Romano with the block there. They get around Hobie and Romano that time, but Lambos is ready to defend. That's actually Sprague in the front row. Mixed them up again. Nice tip by Logan. Nice job by Hobie to go deeper with the tip.
There you go.
They get a hand on it, but the kill to Hobie and the Skyhawks trying to close in here. Lambos will continue to serve. Fort Lewis down by 4.
Yeah, trying to close that gap, and a little bit of a run here by Fort Lewis.
Lambeau sends that one deep at Mott. Here comes Morgan into the block. Skyhawks. Shea does a nice job there. Morgan again into the block. Lambeau's plays off the block, and then Hobie can't get to it to make the play in the front row.
Well, it fell between Sprague and Hobie, and somebody's got to get that ball.
Right.
You know, somebody's got to go after it, and both players thought the other one was going to do it.
Yeah, if you're going to get back into this, down a set and down 5 in the second, you have to contest everything.
Everything. You're absolutely right.
Holloway with the serve, drops it in front of Hobie, and Alexis unable to come up and make the play. Let's see if Holloway goes after her again. Alexis Hobie trying to find her stride here in the 2023 season. Good pass to Lambos there, sets it up for a smash from Shea.
Lauren Shea, Castle Pines, Colorado. I hear there's some good golfing down there.
Well, not being a good golfer, I couldn't tell you.
Well, yeah.
There's no bigger waste than putting me on a good golf course.
Well, it's like Pebble Beach, right? You know it's good, but
I know I'm not.
Just because you got the
There's a nice play by Hobie.
There you go.
Alexis going to have to send a free ball over. Actually got something on it. Sparks has to play it up. Mott, good job by Rule to keep it alive. Nunez attacks Chavez. Here comes Mott again, winds and fires.
Wow.
Line judge says it's in. Curry going to check back in for Hobie. She gets a breather. Let's see if she can get it back together.
I think that was a good call by Coach to take JJ out for a little bit.
Nice dig by JJ. Sprague with the hammer, but the answer from Chavez. Nat gets it up for Shea, who's playing well right now. Mott on the attack. Good dig by Nunez. The back set to Shea into the block. Has to dig it out of the net herself. And then the block from Kuzma comes right back on Fort Lewis. And the Skyhawks down 18-11 and 1-0.
Timeout Fort Lewis.
G needs another timeout to talk things over.
This has got to be frustrating for the Skyhawks given how they've played the last 2 days.
But again, you're playing for today, but you're playing these matches for the end of October, too.
Absolutely.
And, a lot of what happens in this match is going to actually take place in practice on Monday as far as the whole story of this team, this program, and this season goes. Most important thing is you want to show character and rally. And as we said, Rick, flat contest every point. The biggest problem for the Skyhawks right now is that the Bulldogs have more energy. And that is something you can control, right?
Absolutely.
And so I think she's chewing a little bit, but at the same time, her demeanor is pretty calm. Her voice is up, but she's not waving her arms around in the air or anything like that.
So next weekend starts conference play,
Uh-huh.
and they want to take what they get out of this tournament into next weekend's conference play. And that's going to be against Westminster, 6 o'clock on Friday. And then Mesa, Colorado Mesa.
Undefeated Colorado Mesa. Nunez with a powerful pop there. That absolutely ate up the block of Smith and Kuzma. That's her biggest hit of the day.
Oh, yeah.
That's as much as we've seen Nunez get on a ball yet. Romano rotates back in front row. Sprague to serve it. The freshman from Phoenix into the net. She has struggled with service errors, Rick. But again, freshman, right? There are parts of your game that you got to improve on. And for Logan Sprague, it'll probably be that. I think the other middle options for Fort Lewis are both wearing face masks on the bench right now. So the two freshmen have to work through this today. I don't know that. I think they are there for an emergency, and I don't know what you call an emergency. 19-13 on the verge of dropping your second set. But You see Shea is going to rotate off. Wilkie will come on to serve and play the back row. Lauren's a player that last year played front and back and started this tournament playing front and back.
Boy, you just wouldn't. I would never even expect something like that to happen in front of
Mott. Now let's see if Wilkie can send a serve deep there. Crept up so far on her. Pretty good serve there. Holloway does a nice job of it. Kuzma buries that one in the net. Skyhawks not done yet. Down 19-15. Wilkie trying to roll points at the service line. The junior from Coeur d'Alene on as a defensive specialist after playing the libero position all weekend. Mott, good dig by Wilkie, but he's going to send it wide and over the net.
20-15. This will say a lot about the character of the Fort Lewis team, and if they are scrappy or if they roll over.
Yeah.
I got a feeling that they're not going to just roll over.
No. Romano misfires there just a bit too strong. I don't know that she's had enough attack attempts to have established a rhythm. Romano's been in there primarily as a blocker. We just have not seen her attack in this match.
She's got the talent, that's for sure, to be a big-time offensive player.
Nat has largely been setting the outside hitters, though. There she feeds Nunez again. Wilkie. That set is going to come in the middle, but a back row hit from Curry. We haven't seen a designed back row hit yet in this match, and it's something that the Skyhawks used a lot yesterday. So here we go. So Curry comes off, so this is going to be a rotation. JJ is going to play back row. Alexis is going to play front row. That's something I've never seen before over the last couple of years. This is an interesting combination.
Well, they were very successful in blocking JJ. It's a long serve by Munoz. But they were successful in blocking JJ. So let's get Hobie out there. She's got a little bit more height.
Sure.
Makes sense. Good coaching move. 22-16.
Well, and she's letting Alexis work through some of her issues while she does it. Alexis made some nice plays. There's a big Alexis Hobie hit. She's playing better than she did yesterday, but still, I don't think all the way back yet. You haven't seen the Alexis Hobie I saw a year ago or 2 years ago, Rick. Another nice hit from her there, but Mott calmly handles that. Sparks, nice job by Rule being in the right place. Alexis going to wind and fire again into the double block. Lambos with a great tip. Look at Mott keep that thing alive. Nunez showing nice range. The back set to Romano. Mott has got to play it at the net. Hobie with the smash. Two-handed tap down. Big nice play by Alexis.
Nice play. Long rally.
There's that trust relationship. Look at Tarnaskaita. Look at Hobie's eyes on her.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely does not want this sitting the bench stuff doesn't sit well with Alexis.
Oh, good.
And I mean, you just see her looking at Coach, nodding her head. Serve goes into the net right when the Skyhawks thought they could build momentum. They got the point after that long rally, and then the service error, just a killer. Chavez. Boy, that's a tough short serve. Nice job by Lambos. Good hit by Hobie. Not able to get much on it. The tip. Lambos is right there as she should be. Rule going to set it up for Alexis. Off the block. Played in the back row by Mott. Into the middle. Sparks. Nice. Denied by Hobie and Sprague up front. Here's a big hit by Morgan. Handled easily in the back row by Nunez. Hobie with a hammer.
Hobie's starting to come alive.
Yeah, she is. That was a good hit.
That was a really good hit.
That was a good hit that split a block from 2-6-2 players. That's something we've been unable to do.
Yes.
And Hobie went right at it and beat it there.
Yes, I agree completely.
Win or lose this set, that's big. Lambos. That's a tough serve. Natalia going to give it middle. Nice job there to mix things up and give Sprague a chance. It's going to be a big hit from Morgan and a bigger block from Sprague.
That was a great play by Sprague at the net. right in the middle of the net. She goes up straight, tall, arms are extended.
Well, in the triple block, she had Shea and Hobie on either side of her. And so Southwestern Oklahoma State, no choice but to hit it at Sprague. And she was up to the challenge.
Yes,
Boy, she held strong in the middle of that triple block. Skyhawks are going to make this second set interesting all of a sudden. 23-19, a timeout from Coach Collins. And you can see Southwestern Oklahoma State has something to talk about now.
Yeah.
Shea and Hobie are just bigger players.
Yeah.
They're bigger players than Curry or DeJesus. And, yeah, Southwestern Oklahoma State is going to have to find a different way to attack. They may be able to hold on for this set, but the complexion of this match has changed with the substitutions that Tarnaskaita has made.
Yeah, even if they lose this set, which most likely they will, the last 5 or 6 points with this different rotation has brought a whole different level of energy and play.
And they're still in it here.
Oh, sure.
If Lambos can keep getting serves in and they can avoid having to face too many match points, they've got a chance at this one, but they've also definitely set themselves up for the reverse sweep if they have to come back all the way. Chavez is going to have a decent set for Smith, but Lambos right there. Oh, nice hustle play by Rule. Natalia just got to send it over. Free ball. They're going to set it back to Morgan. Quite a ways off the net. Skyhawks are going to have a chance at that one, too. Quick set to the middle to Sprague. Nunez keeps it alive, but Shea unable to get to it. Here comes that set point.
Yeah, nothing that Shea could do about that one. It's just too far close to the net.
And that was one where the Skyhawks were caught on the defensive because they were never able to really set their offense. And the Bulldogs able to just keep hammering away until eventually the Skyhawks ran out of scrambling space. Here's Holloway to try to close out the set. They're going to have 5 set points to do it. Hobie keeps it alive. They set it over to Shea. She goes deep. Permenter handles. Quick set backside to Smith. Hobie keeps it alive to Rule, but Rule can't bounce it enough to keep the play going, and the Skyhawks drop set number 2. They trail it 2-0. We'll be back with set number 3 to see if they can get back into it in just a few minutes. Welcome back to Wayland Gymnasium. Bob Bonner, Rico Block with you on the Skyhawks Sports Network. Bringing you live stream action on YouTube is our chosen platform for this weekend for the Skyhawks Invitational. This is Game 10, 2 to go, Rick. And we're going to call it a wrap. Skyhawks down 2-0 here. A game I think they fully expected to win, and most people did. You and I knew this was going to be a challenge. We saw East Central come out as a better team. We knew Southwestern Oklahoma State was going to be better today.
Yep.
And the Skyhawks have taken a step back. Let's see what they do. They start here with Shea and Hobie on the floor. Alexis sets that up to Lambos. The first set of the game is going to go to Shea. Rule's got to dig it out as that set was a little too far into the net. Lauren had to go for the tip instead of the smash, and she didn't get the tip over that big set of 2 6-2 blockers that the Bulldogs are putting on the net. Lambos back set to Hobie, who attacks it. The block able to direct it to a back row. Rule with a nice dig there. Shea going to get a chance. She goes off the block of Sparks and down the net. Hobie, if Hobie and Shea can keep attacking the way they are and just plant a seed of doubt in Sparks' mind. She is so confident right now. Curry going to rotate in and serve.
Chase Swenson.
Hobie's going to have to serve. Oh, we do get Shea rotated in the front.
Shea Swenson.
She came in for Hobie as an outside hitter the other night. She's on the floor, I think, playing the middle right now. I don't know if it was Romano or Sprague's still in there. I'm not sure who she's up there for. Oh, Nunez is who she came in for. So Nunez is going to play back row. Swenson, it appears, is going to play front row. Nice punch by Shea off a missed set. Double block there. They went between it, but Shea on the dig. Hobie with a big hit. Nice job by Sparks to keep it alive. Lambos has got a free set to Swenson.
Nice.
Shea with a blast from the outside. So here's the wrinkle is Alenia Nunez is just playing back row. Swenson will play front row for her. Hobie's going to continue to serve. J.J. Curry will come in for her when they rotate again. Nice dig by Hobie. Swenson with another big hit. That block comes back at her and inbounds. The twin towers of Smith and Sparks get it done.
Hobie comes out. Curry comes in.
That's another thing. This is the fourth game in 3 days, right? So, you know, as far as just everybody playing a half rotation, that makes sense from a fatigue perspective as well. Swenson, nice dig on the back row. Set it up for Shea.
That was a low
Never got
set.
it over the net.
Yeah, that was a low set.
We're starting to see Natalia. She's had a few low sets in this match, Rick. And I wonder, Natalia has played every point of this tournament so far. And you lose your spring as a setter. It's just like a basketball player with a jump shot, right? You start losing your legs. You start to lose your accuracy. Nice hustle there to get it to Sprague. Well defended by Chavez. And here's Mott's first hit of this set. Oh, an unfortunate.
Yep.
Lambos made a nice play on it, but it caught the light in the rafters, and Shea was unable to play on it.
Yeah, it was unfortunate because they did make a play on the ball. And had it gone 6 inches less, they would have been able to make a play.
Skyhawks trail again here in set number 3. Down 2-0. Lambos with a good tip there. No, that's good. If they let that one go, if we were forced to challenge that one.
I thought that hit the floor.
Yeah, it did. That's what I meant. The whistle was really slow. I was ready to call a double dribble if they didn't come up with something. And I think that's what Collins is talking about. The call was slow. He's going to argue that the play was good. And is he going to challenge it?
No.
Yeah, he is. I think that was super clearly on the floor. I think it was the libero Permenter who played it, but she played it off the bounce. I mean,
they're saying it hit. She had her hand pancaked on the floor.
Right.
Boy.
Well, I think she did, but I think when the ball hit the floor, her hand was still about 4 inches from it, and then slid under it and punched it up.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's a chicken and egg question. What came first? You know.
I have a joke.
I
about
think
that.
she hit the floor. Is it one that we can tell
No.
on the air? I didn't think so.
But
most chicken jokes you can't tell on the air.
remind me, and we'll share that.
Okay. Well, now I almost want to share it on the air, right?
Yeah.
What are the rules about that kind of stuff on YouTube?
Yeah, well, I don't think it's the YouTube that's
I think
problem.
it's the Fort Lewis College Athletic Department Code of Conduct we got to worry about.
Yeah.
4-3, the Bulldogs with a lead here in the third set. They have stunned the Skyhawks crowd who've watched their team play very well all weekend. And we talked to some parent. Natalia Lambo's dad brought me a shirt after listening to us last night. They wrote on it, reflecting a little joke I
Fort
told.
Lewis Point. Yeah,
it is Fort Lewis Point. Knew it was going to be.
Yeah.
But, again, you can't take those challenges with you when you die, so you might as well use them. Rule will serve. Skyhawks down 1. But, yeah, the Fort Lewis fan club looking for something to cheer about here. Skyhawks have just been sort of flat. Trying to catch a spark here, and they do. Shea and Romano big at the net there.
They've got some height at the net now.
Mm-hmm.
Shea 6'1".
Yeah.
Curry 6 foot.
Curry, Nunez, and DeJesus, all very good outside hitters. But Tarniscaita, we were getting absolutely manhandled at the net by the beast of Southwestern Oklahoma State. And so Tarniscaita has brought our bigger outside hitters. The matchup is much more even. Skyhawks with a service error there.
Nice thought, but
slows the comeback. Sparks rotates off. Kuzma comes on. Permenter will serve. Rule handles back row. Lambos, the back set to Shea. Boy, a lot of power from Lauren there, but they scramble and play it. Mott gets it up on the net. Swenson does a nice job of keeping it alive. Quick set to Romano. Swenson keeps it alive again. Romano and Swenson both hit that one. And one of them's in the net.
No, they're going to call. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Shea was in the net, they say. Thought they were going to call it 4 hits because we had 2 hitters hit it at the same time. 6-5, the Bulldogs have regained the lead. Shea sends that one right over. They give it right back to Lauren. Here comes Shea Swenson with a smash. Permenter up to the challenge. No, they say she double hit it.
I'll tell you what, Swenson brings some power.
Yeah. Shea, I remember Shea as a freshman. Wow. She was one of G's first recruits, I think. Or maybe one of the freshmen she inherited that first year. She's been an impact player, but she's struggled with injuries throughout her career here at Fort Lewis. Good to see her healthy. Nice try by Nat to keep that play alive.
That was just a lucky.
Yep. Sometimes the chips just fall the other way. Galt and Turner rotate in. Chavez. How many players are in? Turner does not rotate in. Wait, here we go.
18.
Oh, the official just didn't know who was in for who. So Galt comes in to the front row for the setter Chavez. Turner comes into the back row to set. Subs in for Smith.
Fort Lewis playing much better this set.
Yeah, they are. And again, I just think the matchup better for him, right? Romano with a big hit there. Oh, a great dig by Wilkie. But Sarah slow to get up. She's hurting a little bit, but she's trying not to let anybody know. Yeah. Wilkie going to come off, and Lauren Shea going to come back in. I think G's picked up that Sarah's hurting just a little bit. Shea will play back row. Shea's been a two-way player throughout her career at Fort Lewis. Turner serves. Lauren, nice pass up to Lambos. Here comes Swenson, full swing. She's going to call the tip. The line judge calls the tip, point to the Skyhawks.
This official on this side does a good job on the line.
Yeah, he is. He is super attentive and super confident. I like he makes a call and sticks. I mean, he stares down the officials to say, no, I saw it.
Yeah, no, he does a good job.
You pay me, let me do my job.
Nunez,
here comes that top spin serve. Skyhawks need a good one here. Holloway able to play it. Mott drifts in. Nunez plays it to the front row. Quick set to Romano. Boy, that's a great dig by Turner. And now Galtz will send it across. Shea up to the challenge there. Here comes Hobie, sends it deep.
Nice.
And Holloway unable to deal with it.
Hobie with a nice shot there. Nice shot off of a tough play.
Yeah, it was a tough set. She wasn't able to come full bore on it, but still able to get so much force. She's so strong. Alexis Hobie. Nunez spins that one over off the tape.
We'll take it.
Take it all the way home. Skyhawks lead for the first time since yesterday, I think. It has been all Southwestern Oklahoma State here today. I do think Skyhawks maybe have held leads early in one of the first two sets, but this is as late in the set as we've led, I think. Nunez. Turner's going to set it up for Mott. Good dig by Rule. Nope, she played it off a bounce. Chloe doesn't argue that one. We've kept Mott from really getting going, though. I mean, it's that whole Dan Patrick thing. You can't stop her. You can only hope to contain her. And I think we've contained Mott pretty well.
I think during this match we have.
Well, I think even the other ones we did, it was Sparks and Smith and some of the other players killing us. Natalia. When I had G up here with me during the first match this morning, we talked about Natalia a little bit. And why did G choose to go 5-1? Is G just like to play 5-1, or is Natalia such a good setter that I just want her on the floor so much? And she said it was a mix of both. She said when you get a setter like that, you want to avoid having to rotate and leave her on the floor. But she said Natalia has made that decision really easy because she is an extra blocker and hitter up front. Here comes Hobie with the hammer.
Nice
and
hit.
It was Lacey Mott she took it to that time. Alexis has got that chip on her shoulder.
Yes,
she believes she's the best player on this team, and she wants to prove that to her coach. The best way to do that is by going head-to-head with the best player on the other team and beating her. There's a double hit, mishit by the setter, Turner, and here come the Skyhawks up by 3.
Timeout.
Feeding off the energy that their veterans, Hobie and Shea and Swenson, have brought to the floor, Rick. This has been fun to watch.
It's a great comeback, and we'll see what if this was a good timeout for Southwest Oklahoma State or not. But Fort Lewis doing a good job of, and they didn't, and we knew it was going to happen. They didn't lay down, right?
Right.
And that's what you expect out of a team that's going to be competitive, especially one that is going into conference play next weekend and wanting to make the playoffs.
Well, what I like is that they didn't lay down, but not just players, but players and coaches.
Right.
We saw G make moves here, and we saw the coaching staff work individually, if you're paying attention on the bench, with players who've struggled and prep them in those first two sets. Hobie and Shea weren't sitting down there quietly by themselves. Right. Assistant coaches were talking to them throughout set 1 and set 2, preparing them to come in and telling them your turn's about to come.
Well,
and they've responded.
I also like the fact that she let the players in the huddle sort of conduct their own little meeting.
That was awesome.
That was great.
Yeah, that was a players-only meeting before this third set. And the veterans led the huddle, and then she let the veterans come back on the floor and play after they had been on the bench, for lack of a better term, through the first couple of sets. Here comes the freshman Romano. We've stuck with freshmen in the middle, and we have seen some service errors from the freshmen. That's been a tough part, but
that was close. That was really close.
Well, Romano's another one of those players, so strong, so powerful. It's hard to keep it in. Especially when you've got your adrenaline going right now too, right? Lambos, another great set to Hobie. A good block from Southwestern Oklahoma. Great dig, great play by Hobie to keep it alive. Oh, what a rally. Here comes Alexis again on the tip. Oh, boy, the team's trading blows here. Skyhawks keep beating Hobie. And Alexis with the hammer.
Great point for Fort Lewis to go up 13-10. Good
and darn it,
job.
Skyda telling her, that's the Alexis Hobie we need on the floor. She had a nice dig in that exchange,
Yeah,
too.
Oh,
Then Nat puts it into the net. It's hard not to do that, isn't it?
yeah. Yes, it is.
Hard not to hurt for them. You want it so bad right now. This has been fun to watch the Skyhawks not lay down. You said it. You did not expect them to, and they've not disappointed. Shea with a chance. That one's off the block and out of bounds. And that's, Laura, you know, that was something JJ and Nunez had stopped doing, is direct attacking that block at an angle where the block came back out of bounds. That's Lauren Shea's game.
Well, and they're attacking again, and for a while they weren't attacking. When Curry got frustrated from attacking, they sort of got out of that, and now they're back to it.
The body language on the whole bench is just so much better right now. Chavez, the back set to Smith. Nice dig by Lambeau. Swenson with the comeback. Permenter's got to go down and get it. Back row hit from Mott.
Wow, you're not going to see
Doesn't
that.
get it over. No, and we're starting to see chinks in Lacey Mott's armor a little bit. Skyhawks up by 4. Curry serves again. This is fun, Rick.
Yeah, it is.
Mott digs that one out. Up from the back row to hit is Morgan. That one's off the block. Either Shea or Sprague got a hand on it. So momentum momentarily stopped. Holloway will come in to serve. We saw her struggle at the service stripe yesterday. Yesterday. At times. And that one's going to be out.
There you go.
Boy, even the announcers firing on all pistons right now. When it's going good, it's going good. Huh?
Everybody likes a winner. But you can just feel the energy is much greater right now than it was earlier.
Tough play by Holloway on that one. Not the best hitting position for Smith. Swenson has to reach back and somehow muscles that down in play.
That was a great hit by Swenson. Great placement right in the hole that needed to be hit.
We're seeing the Skyhawks play for each other a little bit, and you see the hug right there. Lambos thanking Swenson for covering for her. The set was a little bit off.
Yeah.
And instead of, accepting that it was a bad set and sort of conceding that, Swenson made something out of it. And Lambos thanks her for it as they head into the huddle.
That was a great hit by Swenson.
Yeah, really, really tough to muscle that over the block and then just past the back row of defenders to paint the line. Shea Swenson's a really, really good kid, too. She is really popular around the athletic department. A lot of people really like Shea and really feel bad for her because all the injuries she's had to deal for. We haven't been able to see her. Every time we see her, we're like, oh, boy, have we got something here, and then something happens and we end up losing her for the year. It's happened her entire career here at Fort Lewis. So good to see her as a senior getting an opportunity and making the most of it.
Roseburg, Oregon. It's a nice place.
Is it? You've been to Roseburg?
I have. It's a really nice place. I visited a hospital there, not as a patient, years ago, and it's a very nice place.
Yes, you actually were a hospital tourist, professionally.
Professional administrator.
Professional hospital visitor.
Oh,
Chavez! Sparks absolutely denied by Shea and Romano.
Wow.
And that, you see there, Sparks has no choice. She'd been playing it off of our outside hitters and picking on them. We've gone with larger outside hitters, and Sparks struggling a little bit. Smith just has to tip it. Quick hit to Romano, blocked back and out of bounds.
Wow.
She again went into the side of the Sparks block, and Sparks was also up there all alone as a blocker. No second blocker,
right,
which makes it easier to attack the side of it.
Fort Lewis making a good comeback here.
Yeah, they are.
There
Swenson says, see you later.
Well, right now,
Skyhawks are absolutely rolling. I think this was an 11-8 game, Rick.
Yeah, I mean, Southwest Oklahoma State
12-1 run.
Couldn't squish a grape in a food fight right now. That one's out.
Yep. So we threw them a grape. Let's see what they do with it.
Yeah.
I think the only 2 points they've scored since we began this run is on service errors from Fort Lewis.
I think you are right.
I don't think that the Bulldogs have actually scored a point except for the ones we've given them here in the last few minutes. Lambos back to Shea. Permenter digs that out and sends it up where Swenson can do something with it. That's a big blast. Tried to go around the block, and now we see the hitters of Southwestern Oklahoma State trying to adjust to these big blockers that the Skyhawks have on the floor. Even someone like Lacey Mott missing every once in a while now.
Great changeup by Coach G.
Yep.
I mean, look at that. That was
how good is it to know? I mean, these are two completely. This is a bigger, stronger team. And to know that we can switch and go to a smaller, faster, more athletic team. I mean, you have to defend those two teams in completely different ways.
Nice job by
Mott finally going to score the tip there. Rule a little slow to get up, but I think she's okay. I think she was slow to get up because all her teammates were so concerned about her that they kind of hovered over her. But no, this is exciting. We can.
It's a pretty big team out there right now.
Yeah, and in Southwestern Oklahoma State, they made the adjustment to our smaller lineup. I don't know if they have another adjustment they can make. I think we're going to get a chance to find out. Romano on the roll play.
Wow.
Off the block of Mott and out of bounds.
This is really the Fort Lewis team I was expecting to see coming in during the first 2 sets. Nunez comes in to serve, which can be lethal if she hits it right.
Hobie back in on the front row, so we're even larger and more intimidating than we were a moment ago. The one-handed toss, and Nunez. You know, sooner or later it's going to happen because there is such a fine. I'm impressed that, like I said, I think she's 8 out of 10 with that, and that's such a hard serve that I think that's impressive to be able to. And I'll take the 2. I'll take the 2 because the other 8 are so disruptive when she does get it in. Mott serves it across. Nunez. Here comes Hobie. Permenter. Morgan goes cross court. Just thought she was going to feed Hobie again. Gave Romano a chance in the middle. The tip from Kuzma. And I like the idea of changing it up. But that did go back to Southwestern Oklahoma's strength. They're strong in the middle right now. You do have to try that every once in a while. Skyhawks with the 7-point lead, looking to grab set 3 and force a 4th. Mott serving. Lambos right back to Hobie. Permenter able to keep it alive. It'll be a free ball coming over from Mott. Set it to Lambos again. The back set, the roll play again to Romano, and they're 2 for 2 now on that in the last few points.
Wow.
And that's hard to defend because you keep those middle blockers in the middle, and then Romano sneaks out of there. Your outside hitter is paying attention to our outside hitter, and so there's absolutely nobody there to block Romano in the front. Makes it easy for her to hit it off the side of the block.
Yep, they're set right there. Fort Lewis comes back down 2-1. And the way they played the last part of that set, Southwest Oklahoma State University's got their hands full.
They're going to try and regroup. The Skyhawks able to counterpunch in set number 3. We'll be back with the 4th in just a minute. Welcome back to live action at Wayland Gymnasium. Bob Bonner, Rico Block with you at Fort Lewis College in Durango, Colorado, bringing you the Skyhawks Invitational live streamed on YouTube this weekend. And the Skyhawks looking to pull off a reverse sweep here.
We'll see what can happen here. I mean, the way they played the last set, holy mackerel.
Yeah, they looked unstoppable
shot.
after at the point they trailed about 11-8, and all of a sudden something clicked. Let's see if it can keep clicking, or let's see if Southwestern Oklahoma State makes a change here or some kind of adjustment. We don't see it in the lineup. This is what we've seen on the floor to start the other 3 sets. Southwestern Oklahoma State looking for their first win this weekend, their first win of this tournament. They came in 3-1, but lost 2 yesterday. Morgan, a big hit. Nice job by Curry to keep it alive. Rule set it up to Swenson. Shea somehow crosses up Mott. I don't know.
I don't think she saw the ball.
Yeah, she acted like she didn't. She certainly didn't expect Swenson maybe to go that deep from where she was.
I think she was screened off from the ball by Permenter.
Okay. I'd buy that because she certainly didn't look like she knew what was going on. That was a huge save dig by Curry to keep that point alive, and JJ will serve.
Oh, there's another one.
Big dig from Lambos, but you see the assistant coach, Natalia Berdulis, telling the Skyhawk players, don't chase that.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
Don't need an injury now.
You can get hurt doing that.
Tied at 1, the side out. We'll send it over. Holloway will do the serving for Southwestern Oklahoma State. Kiana Holloway, a defensive specialist, 5'7" junior out of Phoenix, Arizona, transferred from New Mexico State, Arizona, or New Mexico State University. New Mexico State, Arizona. They put a hell of a team out there, probably.
It's on the border. It's between the 2 states.
2-1. A quick early lead here for the Bulldogs. A 3-1 lead now as Swenson has trouble handling that serve from Holloway.
And we talked about her last night. There was something on her serve that just threw people off. It's not overpowering.
Right.
She's very consistent with it, but I don't know. It's got some kind of movement that crosses people up. That's a nice play.
Rule, and that all started with Rule, who's in there at the libero, making a nice play on the serve, getting it up to her setter. Nat set up Lauren Shea for the smash. Rule serves it up. Out of the back row, it's Mott. Rule gets a piece of it, but boy, you just saw Mott sneak up there. Knew that was going to be trouble. The Bulldogs are going to try and get her going a little bit. The last game, she was, I don't know if she struggled, but for her, compared to what we've seen of her, that was her least impactful set of the weekend.
I would think so.
What we saw in the last set. Look for the Bulldogs to try and get her going. Unforced error there. We're tied at 3. Side out to the Skyhawks. Shea will serve. Lauren goes deep. Holloway decides to play it. Smith deep the other way. Lauren makes the play. Lambos does a nice job tracking it down. Lauren just unable to do anything with it after Natalia kept it alive. Galt checks in along with Turner. Now in this rotation, Smith and Chavez come off. This is a bigger Southwestern Oklahoma State team, but I don't think they're as good in the back row. And the Skyhawks made some hay against this bunch in the last set. Turner the serve. Shea. Lambos on the attack. Curry goes right at Turner, who's able to make that play. But you take it out of it. The setter there. Oh, there is a touch.
Yep.
When you go at the setter, Turner, it means that someone else is going to have to set up your hitter. They get away with it there because the hitter was Lacey Mott, and she doesn't need anything special necessarily. But Southwestern Oklahoma State up by 3 now after the Skyhawks had tied it at 3. Cameron Turner serves again. Skyhawks still facing elimination. They'll take that service error. And here comes Hobie and Nunez. Curry rotates off. And now, you look, you're starting to stack size. And then you've got this dynamite serve of Alina Nunez.
Hopefully she can get this in.
Yeah, the toss on her last serve wasn't good. There's a good toss. Oh. But it got down just a little too low for Alina, or just a little too far out front of her maybe. Morgan checks in. Holloway to the bench. Mott back to serve. 7-4, Bulldogs with the lead. Skyhawks looking for a side out. Romano keeps it alive. Shea out of the back row. Mott with the hit. Set it up. Morgan flat-footed. Rule easily passes it up to Lambos. Quick set to Romano, who's got to dig it back out of the net. They're going to set Hobie this time.
Out.
Alexis goes cross-court and just misses. Right in front of Permenter. Had a pretty good look at it. The set a little behind Alexis. She was unable to get on top of it and get it down in bounds. 8-4, Bulldogs.
They're getting good shots.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on here? Now what?
This line judge, I think, maybe is going to say he saw a tip. And he's going to – here's the thing. If he gives a number for who tipped it, then the officials either got to overrule it.
Oh.
And he does.
Wow.
You know what? That's a credit to the line judge that the official trusted him. And you talked about how good this line judge is, Rick. We're going to have to get that young man's name and give him some credit.
Of course, they're going to look at this.
They're going to challenge it, and
okay.
that's why you go. And I think that's why the chair official says, "Yep, line judge, I'll let you make the call. It's your call to make." And this is one that would happen right in front of the camera, Rick. So.
Yeah, this ought to be an interesting call. I know that lines judge does not like sugar. We were in the hospitality area, and he's like, I don't want any sugar.
That's right.
So
the call on the floor is point Skyhawks. I don't know if that matters as much as it does in like football where it's tough to overturn or the call stands, but if nothing else, I think it should make you feel a little better. The call on the floor is point Skyhawks right now, and boy, do we need one.
Yeah, let me give a plug to the Fall Blaze coming up.
Oh, yeah, please do. I've been meaning to ask you to do that.
The Fall Blaze is a fundraiser for Fort Lewis College Cycling. It's the first weekend in October, so October 4th, and you can go online at www.fallblaze.com, register, and some of the funds also will be helping Segment 28, which is a developmental team. A lot of kids that go to Fort Lewis are on that developmental team. So please join up. They have 37 and 70-mile road rides, as well as 2 gravel rides, which is the hot thing in cycling.
Yes, it is right now.
So please sign up. Durango
What's the date?
Fall Blaze, October 4th.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be.
Going to be able to, is Quinn still going to be in town rehabbing? You going to be able to have a celebrity guest? Or maybe Sepp will be here touring his trophy from the Vuelta. Is he going to be able to hang on? Or
boy, I think he's going to hang on.
He's got the teammates that he should be able to.
Yes.
And how cool is it, Jumbo Visma, because they have to choose who their GC is going to be, right? And you've got the Tour de France winner on the team who says, no, the guy who drugged me up the mountain the last 2 years for the yellow jersey, let's go ahead and get him one.
Yeah.
That's just neat. I'm new to the sport of cycling, but
Sepp, it was sort of by default that he's even in the red jersey. It was supposed to be Roglic or Vingegaard, but yeah, Sepp Kuss, Durango's own Sepp Kuss, is leading the Vuelta, which is one of the 3 major.
When he was poised to finish top 10 in the Tour de France and got tangled up in a wreck on the second to last day, ended up finishing 12th. So not surprised the way it turns out. It's great that Sepp's getting this honor, too. I mean, to win one of the Grand Tours.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, it's unbelievable. And he's such a nice kid. I had an opportunity to interview him one time, and so humble. And, again, thoughts go out to Howard Grotz. His father just passed away. Howard's an alumni here, an Olympian for Fort Lewis Cycling, and thoughts go out to him. Great kid. Howard Grotz is one of the nicest, and Sepp Kuss, and Christopher all of these kids.
Quinn
so please
guys.
go out and support Fort Lewis Cycling. And if you can't participate that day, you can always hit the donate button, and
awesome.
it goes for scholarships. So please, fallblaze.com, DurangoFallBlaze.com.
The play stands. They've added several points. I think the score should be 7-5. They've got it 7-6.
I think you're right.
It was 8-4.
I think you're right.
Not that I mind the hometown scorer keeper trying to throw an extra one on there, but the point of the matter is the point does go to the Skyhawks. It is 7-5. Jordan Romano will be serving for Fort Lewis. Jordan's been kind of quiet in this match. Her last attempt was a service error. That's a good one. Gets in on Permenter. Skyhawks going to have a free hit from Hobie, and it's good.
That's a shot. Here we go. That was a great shot by Hobie.
Well, Alexis going cross court with everything off of this near pin. I'm so used to seeing her big hits being down the line. And it's in. Oh, what a serve from Romano. That makes up for the service error a couple of rotations ago, doesn't it?
That was a great serve.
And
by
now
Romano.
you're seeing, we had so many freshmen on the floor early. We're seeing the freshmen feed off the energy of the veterans right now, and they've got their confidence back. Skyhawks have tied it at 7. Romano with a nice dig there. Lambos will set it to Hobie into the double block. And this time Galt and Kuzma are there. They stop the bleeding and get the side out for the Bulldogs. Sparks going to check back in.
Kuzma with the serve. Middle hitter from Portland, Texas.
Wyoming Cowboys are playing Portland State football today. That's from the other Portland.
Oh, boy. Portland State, they played Oregon last week, got beat 81-0.
Yeah, Wyoming's up 21-10. We'll take that. Big come down for Wyoming off of that big win over
Texas
Tech last week.
And the CU Buffs won today.
CU Buffs win again today after they had a big win over a Texas team last week.
Yeah, they did.
Sparks.
Nice
great
play.
dig by Lambos. Nunez tries to drop, and a tip. Sparks got a finger on it.
Yep.
Fort Lewis has regained the lead. Great dig by Natalia Lambos to start that point.
And they've regained the momentum. I mean, that's huge. This has been a very productive group on the floor. Look at that.
Mott, trouble getting to it. Permenter going to keep it alive. Morgan gets it over. Skyhawks will reload and attack again in the middle this time. It's Shea. We haven't seen Lauren on a middle attack.
Great call. And this height by
She's
Fort
a heavy
Lewis
hitter.
is causing some issues for Southwest Oklahoma State University.
Fun, and that was that challenge that Southwest Oklahoma State made on an overruled call. The overrule came from the line judge, who you had complimented in the last set, Rick, about just how good and confident he was. He went over, brought an overrule to the chair official. The official rightfully followed the line judge, which forced Southwest Oklahoma State to call a timeout. They didn't win the challenge.
Right.
And over the course of the timeout, they also lost a little bit of their momentum. They had a 4-point lead turned into a 2-point lead, but I think that long play stoppage of the challenge made it just that much easier for the Skyhawks to put the pedal to the metal and go.
I agree with you, and that combined with the change-up in the lineup, putting taller players in the lineup for Fort Lewis, because the first set, I mean, anything that we were trying to do, they were just block. And now it's like, okay, well, we'll put our bigs in, and we'll see what happens here. And Fort Lewis right now playing really well, and they won the last set.
Yeah, we were playing speed against power and getting overpowered. It wasn't going well. We're going power on power and giving not only as good as we get, but better than we get on most points.
Yep.
Skyhawks able to win the third set and force this fourth. We're tied now at 10. Right? No, 10-9. Skyhawks with a 1-point lead. Chavez, the setter, she's been really quiet here since the Skyhawks have turned the tide. She'll serve it up now. Hobie tracks that in the back row. They get it right back to her. I told you yesterday, you hadn't been able to watch Alexis. I said she can dominate a game, and it's fun when she does. We're getting to see it today.
Right now she is.
How about that? I'm going to dig up the serve and then give it right back to me, and I'm going to record the kill. Fun game. 11-9 Skyhawks. Curry rotates in back row, serves.
Nice.
And Sprague has been quiet. They make a mistake there. The good serve by Curry. The serve receive error by Mott sends it back over the net to Fort Lewis, and Sprague makes quick work of it. Skyhawks with a 3-point lead here in set number 4. Curry sends it. Mott, a good pass to the setter. That one never got above the net. Smith.
Well, and the strategy is on the serve is to go right at Mott.
Mm-hmm.
And we mentioned that earlier, but it's really, really, you can tell that that's their strategy. We'll see if she does it again, but if so, it would be the third serve in a row where they go right towards Mott. That's
there
what
it
they
is.
do.
Chavez up front to set, and not a good set. Sparks has to just bump it across. But Nat, little miscommunication there by Lambos. The other reason why we're able to attack Mott, you pick your poison, right? So we attack Mott on the back line because we don't think their setters are particularly impactful either, right? A lot of times you attack the setter so that someone else is setting up your hitters. We're going ahead and letting the setter set up the hitters. We're making sure Mott isn't one of them.
Well, and we mentioned
we saw plenty of that from Holloway yesterday.
Yeah.
She's been good at the service stripe today, but there's her first error.
Yeah, and she probably drilled 4 or 5 into the net over the last few games that we've seen her play.
Rule gets that one in. Permenter, a little bit of trouble with the pass. The setter has to track it down, but Chavez able to get it to Mott, who hangs around over there, takes something off of it, and finds the hole in the defense. Kuzma checks in, and Mott on the front row now, a little bit tougher to handle. But the Skyhawks with pretty good defensive crew at the net right now. And Swenson and Shea's going to get a chance to try and kill it. She didn't get full up. I don't think that set was quite high enough. Shea wasn't into a full jump there, and the 6'2 Smith able to handle the block pretty easily.
She's almost flat-footed on that spike.
Permenter into the net. A couple of service errors making it tough for the Bulldogs to get all the way back in this one. The Skyhawks have scuffled a little bit the last few points, but maintain a 3-point lead. Shea sends that across. Going to set it up for Smith, who's starting to feel it a little bit. Smith picking on the block over here, but now she's going to rotate off because that's what you do. And this group here with Galt and Turner has not been as effective, I don't think.
No, I agree with you completely.
Skyhawk lead down to 2, though, and Turner going to serve it. Back row hit from Curry. She's celebrating already. She knew as soon as she uncorked that it was going to be trouble for the defense of the Bulldogs. Curry comes off. Swenson comes off. Nunez back. Now she's missed the last 2 serves, Rick.
Yep.
Important for her to get it back on track. Hobie rotates back in on the front row as well. Nunez keeps the toss back that time. It had been a little too far out front the first 2 times. And Hobie able to dominate at the net again.
That was a really good serve by Nunez there.
Hobie now with 6 kills in the match. That's without seeing the floor in the first 2 sets. Nunez.
Oh, boy. There it is.
Nothing. I mean, Holloway, all you can do is try and get a hand on it and hope that a teammate can help. That one went up into the stanchion, and no way a teammate could get there. Skyhawks now have pushed this out to a 5-point lead. Alina Nunez has found her toss again on that top spin serve, and that's, if nothing else, the Bulldogs need to call a timeout and hope she cools off.
Well, they definitely need to cool her off when it comes to serves. She's got 7 points for the Skyhawks. 11.5 for Hobie. Did Hobie even play in the first
First
set?
2 sets, she did not see the floor. No. Alexis hasn't played since, where you say however you want. She got in G's doghouse, yesterday and hasn't seen the floor since. But that's the thing. G will always give you a chance to get your spot back. I've had that talk with her the last few years. You just got to know what to do with it. And it just makes the celebration that much sweeter, right? The two of them. We got to see G and Alexis having some stare downs yesterday.
Yeah.
And it's all smiles between the two of them today. That establishing that coach-player relationship, and it's a lot of fun to watch the plays behind the plays in sports. Helena Nunez going to try and keep her roll going. Oh, there it is again. Good job by Holloway to get it up this time. Mott with a big smash, and Lacey Mott starting to feel it. This is where you don't mind. Let's keep rotating.
Sure.
You don't mind that Nunez is done after a couple of hits because you want to keep moving. You don't want Mott to just be able to set up and get comfortable over there on that pin. Skyhawks need another quick side out here. Shea, a nice job on the serve receive. Hobie smashes it right at Mott.
That could have been out.
Yeah.
Actually.
Permenter, that one is out. Morgan, and again, you hit it to Mott. Mott not able to get much on it, and instead of getting it to the setter, she got it to the libero. As a result, Morgan gets that set 8 feet off the net and can't get it down in play. Oh, boy, that's a nice let the Skyhawks get from Romano. And then the tip from Galt. Boy, she just quiet, and then all of a sudden, she scores.
She's not overpowering.
No.
I mean, she does not have
She picks her spots.
Right. She doesn't have a huge hit. Doesn't spike the ball with a tremendous power.
Kuzma. Lambos with the tip. Kuzma, a great play to get it back across. Hobie had to wait for that set a little bit. Nice job by Mott to dig it out. Morgan a tip. And it was behind the pin.
Fort Lewis has come alive in these last two sets. They're up 20-15.
Crazy game, isn't it?
Crazy game. So fun.
We just got done with a 5-setter.
Yeah.
We're about to go back-to-back 5-set games. Good thing we had one less to get through today. Lambos going to set it up to Hobie. Boy, into the block, and there's that set coming from behind you. Just such a tough play to make, and she made the play she had to, but it's easier for the blockers then when you have to hit it from that far back. Skyhawks lead it 20-16. Therese Chavez, the 5'7" junior setter from Helotes, Texas. On to serve. Rule in the back row gets it done. Hobie with the hammer.
Oh, boy.
And she gets to come off for J.J. Curry. Swenson in for Nunez.
These scorekeepers, God bless them.
Yeah.
Boy, is this.
21-16 Skyhawks. Curry to serve. That one handled by Morgan. They give it right back to her. Great dig by Rule. And sent it right over to the setter, Lambos. The Skyhawks played that whole thing out of the back row.
Yep.
Rule the libero, set it over to Lambos, the setter, who set it up for a back row hit from Curry, who found the floor.
And Rule did that with one hand. That was
Great
not a
play.
double-handed.
Three great plays.
Oh, my gosh.
In one play by the Skyhawks there.
And again, they go up Mott.
Try the roll play to Smith, and they never looked comfortable. That did not ever look like Lambos and Romano make it look when the Skyhawks run that play, right? Or Riley Johnson a year ago.
Fort Lewis has come alive in this fourth set.
23-16, Curry hoping to close it out. Another good serve there. Mott has to scramble to keep it alive. Morgan a smash. Rule again with a great play. Swenson gets it back to Lambeau. Skyhawks still in business. Chavez into the net with trouble. And Smith finishes in the net. Southwestern Oklahoma State completely discombobulated right now. I did say discombobulated. And Collins, I'm surprised. I'd almost call a timeout just so you don't end the set on this note.
Well, you're going into the fifth set, and it's truncated.
Mm-hmm. Chavez has got to set it back. It'll be a free ball to Fort Lewis, but the Skyhawks smelling blood in the water.
Sucked up
all 6 Skyhawks were on the net looking to make the kill.
They got sucked up into the front part of the court there.
That's one where, understandable they lose their focus, and 8 points up with 1 point to go. It's okay too.
Yeah,
Holloway will serve.
Fort Lewis lost the first set 25-20, 25-19. The second came back strong, 25-16. And they could almost win by the same score here if they pull this out. Nice
Swenson, Smith, and Sparks. This is good for the Bulldogs to, even if they can't. We talked about this in the second set, how the Skyhawks needed to get a couple of points late to maybe start a momentum shift, and I think we're seeing the Bulldogs trying to do that here as well. Skyhawks need to put them away. Shea off the double block. This one will be coming back. Chavez. Back row hit from Mott from behind the pin, able to get it in. Shea looking to finish it. Chavez up to the task. They're going to feed Mott again. Goes back row. Curry, a nice set and a good tip from Lambos, but Holloway was ready for it. Sparks, great dig by Curry. Set it to Swenson. A smash in the block there from Sparks. Southwestern Oklahoma State starting to feel it again a little bit, Rick. I'm not worried for this set, but they're going to bring some energy into the fifth.
24-19.
Another set point. Holloway serving for the Bulldogs. Curry a little trouble with that one. Lambos gets it to Shea. She goes deep. Permenter able to get it up. Nice play by Sparks to get it across. The quick set to Shea. Oh, another good play from Chavez. Here comes a hammer from Mott. Rule digs it out. Right back to Sparks. Good play by Curry and back. Sprague tries to finish it.
What happened there?
In the net. Mott was in the net.
Oh, I didn't see that.
No, she was on the other side of the floor. The Skyhawks surprised him with the attack, and Mott couldn't hit the brakes in time. The Skyhawks hold on to win set 4.
Nice.
Going for the reverse sweep in set 5. 25-19. Skyhawks victorious. The second straight fifth set coming your way in 3 minutes. Set number 5 coming your way
And
from Wayland Gymnasium.
My
Sorry, Rick.
experience with this stuff is you got to get the lead early and establish your momentum, and we'll see what Fort Lewis does here. If nothing else,
all the momentum with Fort Lewis right now for sure.
And they've got to feel good about the way they fought back after really, like I said, first set they lost 25-20, second set 25-19. They stormed back to win 25-16 and then 25-19. So,
although I will say that Southwestern Oklahoma State did finish strong.
They did.
In that set. So I think they've got something. Coach Collins had something that he could give them. Sparks in particular kind of roared back at the end of that set. She had to make an adjustment after the Skyhawks went bigger. Sparks had been having her way with our smaller lineup. The intimidation factor swung the other way when the Skyhawks went big, but Sparks, it looks like, has settled in and accepted that that's what she's playing against. I think this is going to be a good 5th set. Skyhawks looking to pull off the reverse sweep after dropping sets 1 and sets 2. Southwestern Oklahoma State came into the tournament 3-1, lost 2 games yesterday. Looking to get above 500 again here. Skyhawks looking to get to 500 if they win this one. Chavez will serve. Lambos to Hobie.
Oh.
Everybody in the gym knew where we were going to go there.
Yeah.
But when Hobie is good, she's just that good.
Yes.
You know, and how fun is that for G to just dare you to stop her, right? And for Hobie to come through. Curry, she finished off serving the last set.
Oh, that's a nice
That's
one.
a good serve. Ooh, boy, Shea about finished it off. Nice job by Smith to keep the play alive. Morgan going to go deep with it. Curry makes the play. Back set to Shea. And Shea went right at the libero per minute and beat her.
Yeah, that was a
big
great
play by Lauren Shea.
Great play by Fort Lewis there.
One more point, and I'd say the Skyhawks have accomplished that fast start that you were talking about, Rick. They've scored the first 2 here in the 5th set. Curry sends that one across, and all Mott can do is play it back to the Skyhawks. Again to Shea. Off the double block. Smith keeps it alive, but plays it backwards. This one ain't going to come over with much. Curry has to dig it out. Sprague unable to react and pull it back out of the net. That was a great play by Morgan. Morgan did not have much to work with off of that set, and she's made some really nice plays for them. As some of their stars have faltered the last 2 sets, Macy Morgan has come alive a little bit. That was a big play to keep them from going down 3-0. Serve from Holloway. Rule, no problem with it. They're going to keep feeding Shea. She goes deep. Holloway gets in front of Parmenter to make the play, and an error from Lacey Mott.
That is a very rare mistake by Lacey Mott. But we'll take it. Fort Lewis up 3-1. Feeling good about their situation right now.
Sprague comes off the floor. Romano in to the front middle. Chloe Rule, that's a nice serve. Nice dig by Holloway. Mott with a smash. Rule keeps it alive. Can Swenson finish it? Big tip from Shea. Gets it right back across. Going to set it up again to Mott in the middle. She's got a tip over the bigs and executes it well. I think that one, I knew she was going to tip that because Shea and Romano there in the middle. I don't think Mott can take that block on head-to-head.
Yeah,
and I think that's something that just purely based on height, and I think that's something the Skyhawks can probably anticipate a tip there from now on if they're in that situation again. Swenson!
Out.
Oh, just a bit too deep. She painted the line. I love the aggressive hit from Shea there.
Great hit by Shea.
We're tied at 3. Our last 5-setter went 7-7 before they switched sides at 8-7. And that was when Angelo State sort of put some distance between themselves and East Central. Mott with a big hit there. Curry to Rule. Swenson going to try again. Oh, and there it is. Shea, no hesitation after missing her last attack. She went right after Permenter again. I like the big hitters of the Skyhawks are attacking now the libero.
I like
the best back row player.
I like Swenson out there. She's got some power.
Big hit from Smith. Big block from the Skyhawks. Romano there. to deny that. Swenson has to just try and set it across flat-footed. That'll tie it at 4, side out to the Bulldogs. And here comes Cameron Turner.
The margin of error is so slim in this sport. It's amazing.
Turner deep with that. A couple of players tried to say out. Shea played it anyways.
I think that was the right call.
Yeah, I think it was too. I think that was dying quickly. Good tip by Kuzma. And the first lead now for the Bulldogs in set number 5. Comes off a serve from Cameron Turner. Turner, the sophomore 6-footer out of Edmond, Oklahoma. Into the net with that one, and boy.
She's had a couple of service errors into the net.
Some youth there, though. I'll tell you what, having a 6-foot sophomore setter, you know, as a sophomore, that's a tough year. They can go either way, right?
Yeah.
But if she continues to develop, that's just physically, that's a good place to start from.
Nunez, big serve here. See if she can get this in.
Yep. Again, it's that toss. If it gets out in front of her just a little too far, that's where it gets a little tough for her to do anything with it. Skyhawks trail it by a point again. Mott serving. At least when she's serving, she's not at the net cranking it on you.
How about it?
Good pass. That one to Hobie. Off the block and out.
This is, I mean, these last 2 sets is by far the best that I've seen her play.
Yeah.
My exposure to her is very limited, but she's really, really starting to turn the corner.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff we expect from Alexis. And quite frankly, if G doesn't get this level of play from her, she'll sit her down for a little bit. Diving, sprawling effort from Romano, and unable to get it.
A little bit different strategy here. They're not going for the big kill shot. They're trying to get the holes in the defense.
Well, we're bigger at the net.
Yeah.
So we've discouraged the big kill shot by blocking a lot of them. There's a back row hit from Nunez. Good job by Turner to send it to the front row. And that one's going to be wide left. Galt. We've seen Galt, for the most part, mostly be successful with tips, Rick.
Yeah.
She hasn't really swung full very often, and not enough of a sample size or enough practice for her. She missed that one well wide. Lambos deep with this one. Right at Mott again with the serve. Morgan in the middle tips it just over a triple block.
And that's the same strategy, is they just tip it over instead of going for the big hit.
As was the case with our last 5th set. The switch happens at 8-7.
Yep.
Can't get any closer than that. So who's going to grab the momentum here? We saw Angelo State do it against East Central and hold on to stay undefeated in 5 sets in our last game. Skyhawks, hoping to go to 500 with a win here, are going to have to grab momentum in a hurry.
Smith coming in for
Galt and Turner to the bench. This is that big. This is Sparks and Smith at the net. This is the rotation with the 2-6-2 killers in the middle. Chavez to serve. Shea handles it. Oh, a little miscommunication there. Lauren able to get it across nicely. It's going to be a big hit coming from Morgan. Great dig by Rule. Lambos to Shea. Takes a little bit off it. Mott, no trouble. Nice pass to the setter. Smith off the block and out of bounds. It's a 2-point advantage for the Southwestern Oklahoma State Bulldogs. 9-7. Looking for their first win of the weekend after making a long old drive up here from Oklahoma. Rule. Lambos back set to Hobie. It comes right back over the net. Lambos sets it back row for Nunez.
Oh, my.
Great receive by Mott. They're going to set it back. Morgan going to have to send a free ball over. Good job by Nunez. Lambos tracks it down. Here comes Hobie down the sideline, and good. Both line judges all over that. What a play by Alexis Hobie when the Skyhawks needed it most.
Yeah, and that wasn't overpowering. That was strictly right down the line. Nice placement, little touch.
Brilliant.
Wow.
Absolutely brilliant
This
play.
is
Alexis
fun.
now with 13 or 14 kills. 14 in a little over 2 sets. Curry looking to tie it up here. Oh, that's a short set and a third hit that doesn't get over the net. Miscommunication on the part of the Bulldogs. And let's see if they recover from that. That's the sort of thing that can stay in your head for a little while.
Yeah.
Especially with Curry.
Got to get those.
Serving as well as she has been.
Yes.
JJ, oh, that's a really good serve. Good dig by Morgan. She'll send it right back across. Skyhawks with a chance to set up a play. They go to Lauren Shea. She tips it deep. Permenter actually steals it away from Morgan. Going to have to send another free ball over. Good dig by Rule. Swenson swings. Down the line she goes with it. The setter Chavez starts the play. Mott's got to bump it over. Lambos, quick set. Swenson fires.
There you go.
And Mott gets handcuffed and eaten up on it. Skyhawks lead it by a point.
Boy, putting this lineup in was brilliant coaching. Just brilliant.
Well, and part of it is she set the table by having a different lineup in at the beginning.
Yeah, right.
Right? Southwestern Oklahoma State prepped for the lineup that was on the floor last night at the end of that match and came out with a damn good game plan, Rick.
Yeah, yep.
But they've been unable to adjust to this bigger lineup, which is actually, this is the original lineup that started game one for us this weekend pretty much, with the exception of the libero position where we've got Rule right now instead of Wilkie, which honestly I think is as much of – I think Rule just had fresher legs. It's been a long weekend for Sarah Wilkie, and, you know, when you get into tournaments, when you get late in the year, you're going to have to be able to have this depth again.
Well, and the pressure, clearly the pressure right now is on Southwest Oklahoma State University. I mean, to go up 2-0, dominating 2-0, and then to come back and just get thumped in the next 2 sets, which is exactly what happened, and then have the lead here and lose that lead because they were up by 2. Come back and lose that lead. Now they're down by 1, Fort Lewis serving. They've got to be feeling the pressure, I would think, a little bit more than
Well, that was a huge timeout. If the Skyhawks can score here, they'd all but put it away, I think. They really need a momentum shift. They missed. No. Paint the line. Line judge right on top of it emphatically says that one's in. Good timeout by Coach Collins and Southwestern Oklahoma State University.
Now here's Holloway, who's had some problems with their serve.
Oh, G's just going to call a timeout. I thought she was going over and just going to say, I'll use a challenge just in case that was close, but no interest in that. She's just going to coach her team instead. All smiles all the way around that. Look at Shea Swenson. She's absolutely beaming down. Just so happy to be able to play.
Yeah.
I said, I mean, there's just been heartbreak all over the athletic department the last few years because of the injuries she's had to deal with. And a credit to her to stick with the sport.
Yeah.
Keep competing.
She's leader out there.
And she is definitely leading this team right now, yeah. With her play and with her energy in huddles, both. I mean, it's what you want out of a senior, right?
Okay,
Who's
we'll
paid
see.
her dues.
Holloway, if she can get her serve in, what that does to her.
She got the last one in. That's a good serve.
Yeah,
Swenson with a great pass to Lambos. Sets up Shea. Chavez digs it out per minute. It's just going to be a free ball coming across. Shea sets it for Swenson.
In.
See you later.
So happy.
Talk about a hot hand. Romano rotates in for Logan Sprague.
I'm happy for
Yeah,
her.
happy for these girls right now. Rule. Let's see if they can close it out. It's going to be a big hit from Mott. She's not just going to – Bulldogs aren't going to give it to us, I don't think, at any point.
Well, when you got to go to the big person to get the point, that's it. You give it to those people that are going to win the points.
Permenter Shea, nice pass to Lambos. Swinson again blocks it. Great dig by Rule. Back row hit by Nunez. Permenter a little bit of trouble with it. Going to be a flat-footed hit by Mott, and it's out. They knew it at the net. The blockers pulled back on that even because Mott at 5'6", that set was just too far back for her to get on top of it. Skyhawks by a point again.
And you could see Curry lean back as she knew it was out.
We give it back.
Better to be long.
Oh, yeah.
I like that. Don't drill it into the net. Here we go, Turner.
12-12, set number 5. Last game for Fort Lewis College at the Skyhawk Invitational, hoping to go 3-1 in their own tournament. Swenson.
Oh, man.
Boy, that's a great dig by Holloway. Galt's going to get a chance. Nice job by Lambos to be ready. Swenson again. Holloway again. The dig right at the net. Kuzma. Rule keeps it alive. Nunez out of the back row. Permenter sets it up front. Mott goes deep. Shea gets it in the air. Swenson going to have a chance, and it's good.
Well, that was set up by Rule and by Curry in the back row. Nunez checking in now.
Oh, man, is this fun.
This is so fun. Oh, my goodness.
Come on, Alina. Get the toss. It's all about the toss, and Collins and the Bulldogs are going to make her think about it a little bit.
They've got to be feeling the pressure.
Well, this our best server, and now here's that stacked front end that's on the floor right now, too, with Hobie, Shea, both there at the net, along with Romano. So, yeah, this is the matchup we want in this situation. This is where we've gained points on them in the last 3 sets, is with this unit.
Wonder what coach is saying to them down there, because Rule keeps shaking her head yes. So she's telling her something.
Well, I think she's doing the old "the ball will not touch the floor" because that's the way Rule's playing right now.
Yeah.
I mean, she had some digs in these last couple of rallies.
Oh, man. And one of the biggest plays was off one hand.
Yeah, she was off one hand, completely parallel to the floor with no part of her body touching the floor on a couple of those digs.
Okay, here we go.
Alina Nunez. We're going to see the top spin serve out of her. Again, dance with who brung you.
Yeah.
Look at her concentrating on the ball. There's the toss. Great serve. Mott handles it. The set going to come right back to Mott. Rule gets it over, but it's wide. 13-13.
Mott with a huge spike.
Hey, and we've been attacking her on the serve, and guess what? Player's going to play.
Yeah,
she stepped up. She knew her number was going to be called, and she stepped up.
Well, this is the most pivotal point in the whole match right here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because whoever wins this point will have a match point.
That's right.
Mott serving.
Everybody's into this.
Mm-hmm.
That's here in the stand.
Yeah, it's almost eerily quiet right now, except for the cheerleaders, right? Shea, Lambos, Hobie with a hammer. Permenter. They set it up to Morgan off the block and out. Big, big hit from Macy Morgan, who has quietly kept them in the last few sets. Timeout G. Skyhawks are going to be facing a match point when we come back.
All right. Fun stuff, man.
Yeah, I don't even know. I'm not even going to be too heartbroken, and I don't think the Skyhawks are if this point ends up going to the Bulldogs, because you roar back after playing as poorly as they did in the first 2 sets. There's something to be said about that. Now, at the same time, boy, you want to finish the comeback, don't you?
Yeah, they were up 10-9,
Mm-hmm.
so they've been outscored 5-3.
Mm-hmm.
And, with an opportunity, they had an opportunity there to take the 14-13 lead, serve out. But we'll see what happens on this point.
A couple of big plays from big players.
Absolutely.
On Southwestern Oklahoma State University.
Yeah,
Mott and then, Morgan.
Right.
M&M getting it done down the stretch. Match point coming your way. Hopefully the first match point. Nunez, Lambos, and the tip
There
from Hobie.
is.
The set was a little high and behind her.
I thought that was almost a carry, quite frankly. Great job, though.
Skyhawks survive match point number 1. We'll look to take an advantage here. Romano into the net. Fort Lewis will have to survive match point number 2. Sparks comes back on.
Killer.
Kuzma will serve.
Oh.
Nunez. Lambos just going to keep going to Hobie. Holy smokes, what a dig by Mott. Just going to have to tap it back over. Do we set it up to Alexis again? You bet. Down the sideline with this one. Kuzma keeps it alive.
Great play.
After Turner gets a hand on it. Where are we going now? Back to Hobie. The tip again. Turner's ready for it this time. Look out. They're going to set up to Morgan. Quick tip. Hobie keeps it alive. It's going to be Nunez out of the back row and down. 15 all.
Nunez with the back row hit. 15 all. Great play on both sides of the net. Fun.
A little girl over here stomping her cowboy boots on the bleachers.
Pink cowboy boots.
I want me some pink cowboy boots. Turner the back set to Galt. We've seen Galt tip more often than not. Hobie tips it right back to her, but Galt is there. Just confusion on the part of the Skyhawks. All that happened in too close of a confines there for anybody to really be athletic.
I think Hobie was worried she's going to get called for a double hit there.
Well, in Galt, that's been her game. Tip, 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 tip. So guess what? It happened to play to her strength there. Skyhawks staring down their third match point now. Chavez serves. Shea so steady on the back row. Hobie, they go to her. Alexis switches to the left hand, able to get it back across. Morgan goes deep. Nunez the play. They'll set up Shea this time. Double blocking down, and Southwestern Oklahoma State holds on for the 5-set victory.
Wow.
Man, thank you to both these teams. They treated us to one hell of a volleyball match.
Yes, that was great.
I didn't think we could see better after we saw Angelo State overcome East Central's challenge in 5 sets. This was an even better match.
By far the best match of the tournament.
Hats off and congratulations to both teams. That's the second 5-set game in a row for Southwestern Oklahoma State.
Yes.
They are tourney tough, that's for sure.
Boy.
And a great performance by the Skyhawks. They're going to finish 2-2 on the weekend, Rick.
Oh, boy. I just have to say I am so impressed with the talent and skill level of Fort Lewis College and all of the other teams that are here. And you can see the improvement of those teams that came in and you thought were a little bit weak, and now are just – taking other teams to 5 sets. So thanks for having me. It's been great.
Yeah, thanks for being here, Rick. It's been a lot of fun. I'm going to fly solo for these last 2 games. But, glad you gave volleyball a try. Looking forward to having you up here with me this year.
It's going to be fun. Thanks so much, and enjoy. Bob, you do a great job up here.
Thanks.
Capri,
You too.
thank you for doing your thing for us.
Hey, and Rick, we got to call a football game next week, too.
I know.
Here we go, Skyhawks.
Yeah, boy.
Hopefully they're getting it done down there in Arizona today. Hey, thanks to everybody, all you Skyhawks fans for following and listening, and everybody else for tuning in from out of town. I'm not done for the day. I'm going to take a break, and we'll be back in a half hour. East Central and CSU Pueblo set to serve it up